On Rick Dancer TV, we are in Creswell. We're going to introduce you to some new places to eat, show you the best soup you'll ever find. We're going to go to the bakery and show you breakfast pizza, bagels with all this good stuff inside of them. We're going to introduce you to other things going on in the community. And gentlemen, we're going to talk on the soapbox about why you don't wash your hands when you're done in the restroom. Yep, we're going there. Creswell, Oregon is called the Friendly City, and it's really true. I've worked for them for a lot of years doing different projects, and it's a really good group of people. In fact, people leave here and then they come back. About 5,000 people call this place home, but on 4th of July, the population more than doubles. Why? They have an old-fashioned celebration. One of the biggest parades in the state on the 4th of July. They have a pancake breakfast in the park. It's red, white, and blue, apple pie. This is as Americana as you get. You've got some famous people who are from Creswell. Bertha and Harry Holt, they founded the International Adoption Agency, named after them, and this park is named after him as well. You've also got Luke Jackson, the Oregon Duck basketball player. See, now we can prove he's actually here.
4th of July is like my favorite day of the year in Creswell.
Why?
Oh, it's just small town America. Everyone doesn't worry about leaving their lawn chairs out overnight. Everyone's getting set up and mowing their lawns. And
what are you doing now?
I'm coaching at Northwest Christian University.
Awesome.
And really enjoying that, retired, and just kind of hanging out.
Retired. And Tim Fox, the DJ over at Country 93, a friend of ours. If you want to find the center of Creswell, the place where everybody hangs out, you follow your nose to the Creswell Bakery. This is where Heidi Tunnell, famous for her barn dinners, now she has a bakery. Come here. This is Heidi Tunnell, and she owns, you've had a catering company here for years, so what's new? You just moved to a bakery?
So we cut back on our off-site catering and opened our bakery up 5 days a week. It used to only be open one.
How do you define this place? What would you call it?
Charming and quaint. Drive down Main Street the last 2 days, everybody had their seats out for the 4th of July. You don't have to worry about anybody stealing your chairs because it's a small town. I've always loved baking, and so I just decided to start baking and selling it out of my home. Started baking bread and started selling it one day a week down here in Creswell at the Grange. So we used to do just kind of pan loaves, which like your sandwich loaves, and a few whole wheat sourdoughs. And now we've evolved to danishes, pretzels, muffins, bagels. One of the flours that we use in most of our breads and pastries are local flours. If they're not local, they're organic, unbleached, unbromated. I've always felt like if you start with good product, you're going to end up with good product on the other end. I've always loved the smell of yeast rising. It's one of my favorite things in the world. Mixing dough and feeling dough and watching it proof and rise and bake, and it's just really satisfying to take some really basic ingredients like flour and water and salt and make bread. So we do pizza, wood-fired pizza. We have a wood-fired oven that we have on a trailer, that we built on a trailer, and it sits out front of our building. And on Friday nights in the summertime, we do wood-fired pizza. Our crust is made with all the local wheat from Junction City, so it's actually a whole wheat crust, but you probably would never know it if I didn't tell you. And then, it's serious pizza. We make the sausage from scratch, and all the vegetables are from local farms. The Thursday night dinners are weekly changing menu. They're set each week, and the menus are very seasonally driven, and also kind of driven by what our farm has, because our farm raises all of our own meats, so our beef and our chicken, and a pretty large percentage of our pork. So we've taken this building in downtown Creswell and just kind of revived it, and then on the outside we're getting all this edible landscaping and we're getting it just feeling like a community space and where people can come and gather. And just, I want people to be able to come in and get good food and good bread, and then also while they're here, hey, let's pick up a chicken that was raised on the farm right here, right down the road. And so it'll eventually be some kind of a little mini kind of market, but kind of a front end for our farm, but also for the bakery. It's just kind of a little happy community gathering space where you can come down and have pizza on a Friday night and dinner on Thursday, and breakfast on Saturday morning. My favorite thing? Oh, that's like asking a parent which one of their children is their favorite. I don't know. I can't even answer that question fairly.
Oh man. This is Emma. Heidi. Emma.
Hi.
So, a fried donut.
Sometimes we bake them, but this morning it was 4th of July, we decided to fry them. Stuffed it with cream and topped it with maple frosting.
Can you get Emma a fork? She kind of likes to eat.
Oh, you saw that?
Yeah. Look at that. Just do this.
No.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay.
Heidi. Wait.
I need a go bag.
Okay, it's not just pretzels and it's not just gooey donuts and baked goods, but they do pizza here too.
I did not know that until I walked up and saw an outside pizza oven. Is this happening all the time, or is this a 4th of July thing?
Well, we do it every year on the 4th of July, but then we also do it every Friday night through the summer months,
How
I should
fun.
say. So there's scrambled eggs, potatoes, and house-made breakfast sausage on this pizza.
I didn't think I liked breakfast. I think I love breakfast. Potatoes on pizza, mind is blown. Mind blown.
Isn't that good? Right now. But remember, it's good for you.
Yeah.
And then we had the pretzel, and then,
Our pizza's done.
our breakfast pizza. Okay, here, let me hold.
You keep calling me fat, though. Oh, that's good. I'll get fat for that. Potatoes on pizza. That's a brilliant idea.
This isn't the only place in Creswell to eat. And that is hot. I mean, there's spicy stuff in that. So there's another place in town to eat. Across town, it's called the Creswell Coffee Shop. And they serve the best soup you will find anywhere on the planet. And they've created a little music scene here in Creswell where they have performers come in on the weekends, Fridays and Saturdays. And well, take a look at the video we did for them.
When marimba rhythms start to play, dance with me, make me sway.
It was something we wanted to do for a long time.
Other dancers may be on the floor.
I mean, we were, for 6 years, trying to make plans in our life to own a coffee house. We were moving back to Oregon to be closer to family, and Creswell Coffee was for sale. The price was right.
We really want it to be a good place for the local community to come hang out and just be very comfortable for people, kind of like almost as a living room atmosphere kind of place. We're really, really into the live music.
Oh, I'm so weary all the time.
It's a music venue. It is a coffee house. It's a cafe, a bistro,
Well, and it's
a community
the
center.
musicians, even like local musicians, have really come to know this place as a place they want to play.
Yeah.
And they really, I mean, they come out of everywhere and ask if they can come play here because they've heard such good things about it.
Sweet dreams till sunbeams find you.
Haley always brings a crowd.
Sweet dreams that leave no worries behind you.
To have a place where we can provide such a spectrum of music. I mean, everything from a full-out 5-person rock band to a solo classical guitarist and everything in between. It's just neat. I love Friday and Saturday nights. They're a blast. We have an employee affectionately known as the CCC Soup Lady on Twitter. We have about 40, maybe 45 soups that we kind of cycle through. Every Tuesday, her and I sit down together and come up with a menu for the week. We go get the fresh produce that we need. Some of it's out of our garden, some of it's from the local farmers market, and start making soups.
And it's not just soups, it's all the salads and paninis
that's true,
and all
yeah.
that too. That
Homemade paninis, homemade salads. We probably have about 25 salad recipes as well to add to that. The homemade soups, the homemade salads, the atmosphere, comfortable seating, great music, all those come into place to allow people to enjoy themselves here. What people realize once they've been here, we're really not that far from Eugene. I mean, 10 minutes, 15 minutes maybe. It's kind of become like a little escape for some people.
Oh, do you smell that chicken? It reminds me of Ranchito Grill. Actually, we're giving away another 2 dinners, 2 drinks from Ranchito Grill. They specialize in chicken. I believe they majored in chicken. You need to try Ranchito Grill's chicken dishes, and you could win some. Give your information to Abe, drop it off in the hat, name, phone number, how we can get a hold of you, and you might win dinner for 2 and 2 beverages from Ranchito Grill. Try the chicken.
So we make our food from scratch, and people that we have as employees, they really care about how the food tastes. So they make sure that it's really good and authentic Mexican food. The only Americanized part, on these recipes are the melted cheese over, because people here like the melted cheese, And in Mexico we don't use that, but the flavor in the recipes and the ingredients, we use, all Mexican ingredients. But the only thing is Americanized is just to melt the cheese over.
Sometimes at Goodwill you can find more than just stuff.
Yeah, you find people.
Real people.
And what your donations do for these people is really what matters.
It's true.
Watch. His name is Don Kelly.
Those plastic round things, I break them up.
Don is 67 years old. He started at Goodwill 26 years ago, but who's counting?
Then they tell me what cutters to put into these.
Don takes your old candles and creates new ones.
They pour some kind of juice into to make those get sealed in there.
Don retired from Goodwill a few years ago, but came back.
By the time it gets real hard, then they pull the candles out.
Don missed his friends, his staff, workers, and his paycheck.
There is no barrier that we have that with the right supports, they can't have a job and they can't live just like you or I.
Value is a funny thing. Sometimes, like old candles, you must look hard and create ways for productivity to happen.
They're now doing things that some of them never dreamed of. They make a paycheck, they come to work. They have staff and now friends that they didn't have before.
Yep, Don is a happy guy.
I like to come to the Goodwill every day.
The individuals that we serve have all sorts of barriers to employment that we get to watch grow.
This is Goodwill, any way you look at it. The woman you're about to meet is writing the final chapter of her life. She wants to leave behind a book so that other people can understand how life works and see how she got through some of the difficult moments. But she needs your help with a Kickstarter campaign. At the age of 55, Cynthia Fredrickson never imagined she would be writing the final chapter of her life story now.
Contemplating my looming death is a very awakening experience.
Her story is now a book waiting to be published.
I got feeling that I really needed to share this story with others in the hopes that it will help others that are facing any kind of either disability or hard time.
The Fourth Floor, Confronting Dying with Living, is a story with twists and turns, hardships, relationships that didn't end well, a life that started with Turner syndrome and is ending with ALS. Her height, her health, and her ability to have children were all limited by her condition, But that didn't stop her from serving her country in the Army or spending 25 years with the Bureau of Land Management.
I have found that to acknowledge death is to let go of the future.
ALS is pushing her story to an early ending.
It takes honesty to live. It takes honesty to die.
It takes honesty to confront your own life openly so that others can learn from it, to dig deep into their souls to find hope.
That let out those feelings, those, the insecurities, the fears, whatnot, for me to be able to face it because it's written in black and white.
The book is her passage.
And it allowed me to step forward and look at the next stage to prepare myself to die.
Publishing it for the world to read makes her somehow feel as though all the difficulties are worth it. But she needs your help.
My desire is to impart my story in the hope that it stirs your own courage so that you will explore new experiences, seek out new friends and faith, and go boldly beyond your own limits so that you too can accomplish your dreams with bravery and laughter.
Cynthia is at peace with the next step.
When I'm alone, I definitely get scared. The mind doesn't shut off going through scenarios of what the end will be like.
She's starting a Kickstarter campaign to raise enough money to publish the book before her story ends.
It was a tremendous relief when I felt I finished the book, that I had completed something I really felt I needed to do.
Cynthia's deadline is near.
It is giving life to other people. That's what I'd like to share, giving them hope.
The Family Relief Nursery in Cottage Grove currently assists a lot of families in Creswell. Some people in this community would like to see the program expanded so there's actually a relief nursery here in Creswell.
No te frotes, no te rasques. Oh no, ¿cuántas más?
Javier is not concerned with risk factors, opportunities, or his future potential right now. After all, he's only 3.
Y contento, a la escuela voy hoy.
But the Family Relief Nursery in Cottage Grove and Javier's family are aware, and they're doing something about it.
We're in a program that is about prevention. It's about preventing what could be that could really stunt that potential and giving them the tools that they need to really just flourish as citizens, and we all gain by that.
Javier, like many children from Creswell, takes the bus to Cottage Grove several times a week to be part of the Family Relief Nursery program.
Risk factors may include things like domestic violence and substance abuse, mental illness. They may also include special education or special health needs. There, we assess 43 risk factors.
The need for a relief nursery in Creswell is growing. The city is excited about the idea and offering space as the anchor tenant in the future Cobalt building. The Creswell Relief Nursery would be a satellite of the Cottage Grove Nursery. Managing through Cottage Grove saves money and brings in much needed service to the Creswell community.
The city and the churches and the parent groups, all the school district, all of them have been very, very supportive. But it does take time to kind of build that necessarily financial support. And so it'll be a 2 or 3 year process.
Javier is working on relating to his peers, learning English, and reducing potential risks by attending the nursery.
I want him to be able to play well with other kids, also to learn the language and also to learn more stuff.
The classes, the guidance, the support all matter to families that just need a little help.
You know, we've been around for 18 years, and what we've seen in those families is an incredible ability to reduce their risk within a very short time.
The Relief Nursery really can help change a community, one family at a time. It's an investment in early childhood education that pays off in the short and long term.
I mean, we've served more than 1,300 kids here in 18 years, and that's just the kids that come here, not their families and their extended families. The potential, the ripple effect is amazing.
For now, that's more information than Javier needs. He has books to read and games to play.
We'll just knock on doors and go to parent meetings and make sure that there's awareness.
But while he's learning English and how to relate to other kids, the nursery will be planning for his future and the future of other children in Creswell.
It will be very nice if we can have a relief nursery here. Because it's not just for me that will help my kid, but it will help another people in the community.
Okay, tonight on the Soapbox, we're getting a little personal, gentlemen. We're talking about why you don't wash your hands after you go to the bathroom. I see it happen all the time. You go in the gym, people go to the bathroom, they touch, well, you know, and then they go and they walk right out into the gym. Then they pick up the weights, then I go and I pick up the weights. Now I've touched, you know, I don't want to touch that, and neither does anybody else. This is a sanitary thing, so you need to wash your hands with soap and water after you go to the bathroom. So Emma, this is a perfect segue, but have you ever tried Doug's Nuts?
What?
Doug's Nuts. Have you heard of Doug's Nuts?
Inappropriate?
They come in a sack.
Much?
This little bag right
Whoa,
here.
whoa, so many things.
Doug is a guy in town, Doug Furlong, and
Yes.
he created Doug's Nuts.
Okay.
And these are something you can use after you work out. They've got a little teeny bit of sweetener on them, but they have all kinds of different nuts. It's all natural, and the guy's got a sense of humor because he calls them Doug's Nuts.
Yeah.
He's the boss nut.
Maybe you should have opened with the explanation.
I found them when I was in Creswell one time at the Creswell coffee shop. They had these for the first time that I'd seen them. I called him up and said, Doug, we got to do a story on your nuts. And he started laughing. He said, you know, Rick, if you're willing to call up and say that, let's do it.
Nice.
So
he's
you
game.
can find them at different places, Market of Choice, Creswell Coffee Shop, places like that. You can find Doug's Nuts everywhere.
I think you're scaring the intern.
What are you doing?
We're in Creswell. I'm looking for that River's Edge Advent Center.
You mean the place we did the video on the weddings?
Yeah, the really pretty place. I could see it probably from up here.
Wow. Nestled along the South Fork of the Willamette River, just a few miles from Creswell, Oregon, you'll find the River's Edge Event Center. Mark and Peggy Shrives live here and operate River's Edge events.
Honestly, I feel so blessed that we found this place and the nice guy that sold it to us. And if I can share that with everybody, I am happy to share it with everybody because they should be able to enjoy it. I mean, it's a pretty one-of-a-kind place.
In 2011, their daughter Laura and her husband Brian married here. While putting together their wedding, Peggy Shrives decided it was time to share their property with other events. It didn't take long for the idea to take off. The summer of 2012 sold out to weddings.
Right when I got here, I just saw the scenery and it was just beautiful. And then meeting Peggy and her husband, they were just so nice and just made me fall in love with it.
The grounds are spectacular and perfect for a riverfront wedding or to use the gazebo as a centerpiece.
I liked the river in the background and how you could hear it, like gently in the background.
It's a one-of-a-kind place. A location Peggy says you really can't own. You borrow it and share it with others.
When you rent the property, you get your tables and chairs and linens, 30 hanging baskets of flowers, tent, dance floor, PA system, coffee urn that is 110 cups of coffee to have with your cake. When they rent it, of course, they get the property for the whole day. They can come in as early as they want. Shepherd hooks, tiki torches, all your outside decorations if you want to use them. And then I do have all the table decorations if you're interested in using those. Also, we have the bridal cottage, a groom cabin that they can get ready in. We have 2 parking attendants and a golf cart to ride in on if you need to.
The property can serve up to 300 guests. For the brides, their party, and the mothers, there's a spa day prior to the weddings where those with weddings already scheduled are pampered for a day. They get a massage, a makeover, their hair done, and a chance to taste wedding cakes and check out potential caterers.
I'm getting more than I could possibly ever ask for my wedding. It's like keeps getting better and better.
River's Edge has a bartender and MC you can hire, and for that Cinderella wedding, TJ's Big Horse Farm will bring the bride and her bridesmaids to the wedding in style.
When we got here this morning, just everything's set up, and they just take care of so many different things, and I'm just amazed. I'm so glad we found them.
Every wedding day is perfect, but sometimes the weather won't cooperate. River's Edge keeps the party going. Even in a downpour accompanied by thunder and lightning, the wedding will go on in style. At the River's Edge, memories and relationships are created for a lifetime.
They're doing great at keeping it going and just making it still special for us, even though it's been pouring, thundering, lightning.
Peggy and Mark Shrives strive to make your day the perfect day.
They're so friendly. I've never met such nice people before. They just want to make our day special.
Peggy will put you in touch with top-notch catering services like Bates Steakhouse out of Eugene.
This is our favorite place to come. You know, it's great shade when it's hot out there and it was 100 degrees and you're getting married. There's no better place than here.
River's Edge is into details. Even the smallest will not be overlooked.
The cool part about the swimming pool is it's kind of a decoration, and we can turn the lights to get to the color that bride's colors are. So if it's a purple wedding, we turn the pool purple.
The lights, the gazebo, the trees, the shade, the swing for two, and that mighty river. Even a bear to delight your guests as they wait to sign the guest book. River's Edge events, what are you waiting for? When people get wind of this place, the dates on the calendar fill up quickly.
From the moment I drove in to the moment I left, I just knew that I had to get married here.
Why is it going so good? God is good. That's why it's going so good. Yeah.
I would strongly, highly recommend getting married here.
Em, do you notice a problem? We're walking this way and they're walking that way.
Yeah, what's happening? I thought they were here for Rick Dancer TV.
No, we're looking for the
Horses!
car. Oh, we're in the parade. We gotta get out of here.
I think we're doing it wrong.
We gotta get out of here. Come on, come on.
Just start waving.
Rick waiting for me?
Stealing that.
Just tell him I'm busy doing an interview with someone named Maple.